Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today is the start of a brand new series on my channel and it's all about my new acne medication. I'm going to be giving you updates every month to let you know how it's been going, any side effects, what my skin is looking like and everything you can probably expect from the medication. So in this video I'm also going to let you know the entire first month, so I'll let you know what my skin looked like beforehand and then also any updates for the entire month as well, just so you can see how it's been going. And usually when you're on a brand new medication you start getting side effects from the first week, so it is good so you can see roughly what you're going to be expecting. Now every single person that's been on this medication hasn't had exactly the same side effects, so you could be getting some of the same side effects that I had, you could be getting some different side effects, and I know that some of them are more common than other ones, and the list of side effects for this medication is absolutely massive. So the medication that I've been taking is called ROACCUTANE or isotretinoin, which is probably completely wrong and I probably completely butchered it. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I load a new video. So like I mentioned, I'm going to let you know all about my acne journey, and I have recently just turned 30 in January, so I've actually had acne for 15 years of my life. So for half of my life I've had acne on my skin, and most teenagers get a little bit of acne. I got a lot of acne. I'm going to try and insert some pictures here so you can see exactly what it looks like, but ever since before I started my periods I got so much acne. It was all over my face, all over my neck, my back, my arms, my chest. Literally the top half of my body was just covered in acne, and it wasn't, you know, the little tiny red blemishes. These ones were full on white heads and they were all over my face. I tended to, because at the time we had Beiges and MySpace, whenever I take photos I'd try and take ones with the flash so then it wouldn't show my skin, because I was so self-conscious of it. No one really in my school had acne like me. None of my friends had it. Usually they got one or two acne spots every now and again. I was literally covered in it, so it was so bad for me. So after about 6 months of using Proactive and using different skincare and it just didn't work, so I went to the doctor and I was prescribed some antibiotics, and I went on these for 3 to 6 months and then they didn't work. So then I went on to another load of antibiotics, again didn't work after that time frame. Then I went on some more antibiotics, again didn't work in that time frame. And we said, you know, it's just not working. She's trying everything she can. And in the end, he said, we're going to go to a dermatologist. So I think I was 18 by the time that I managed to go see a dermatologist. So it was a very, very long time that I had my acne. Again, still all over the top half of my body, also my back. Couldn't get rid of it no matter what I tried. So then I went to the dermatologist and they recommended that I go on a contraceptive pill, a specific one for acne that will help you out. So I was actually on that for quite a few years. I think about 7 years I was on that pill. And at the beginning, you know what, it worked amazingly. It helped with my acne, my neck, my chest, my back, pretty much almost cleared up. I still had a little bit of acne over the skin, but it cleared up and it looked amazing. So I was on that for years, but then I started to get a lot of side effects from that specific contraceptive pill, and I was trying to find some new products. So I actually used the Clinique 3-step anti-blemish system. I used that. I have a full playlist on my channel so you can see exactly how that went, and you know what, that was actually pretty good. That was probably the best thing that I used that was actually a skincare set. It was really good. So look at all of the videos so you can see what it's like, and my skin cleared up quite well, but then I was still getting acne. So pretty much from then I was trying to find loads of different products. I used Acne Side on my skin, which is benzoyl peroxide. That actually worked out pretty well. So I would use the gel. I actually used that Acne Side up until 2022. I'd use the gel on different spots. So it worked out really well. So I liked it. I tried loads of different cleansers, toners, moisturizers, body washes to clear up my acne on my chest and my back and my arms. I actually used Cetaphil on my body for the body wash, and it was a sensitive one, and I have to tell you, that made my skin worse. I think I got a reaction from it, and yes, it just made all of my body just worse. My neck as well. My neck was just covered. You can actually see in some of my videos over the past couple of years, you can see when my acne is getting worse. There's one in particular when I'm trying out, I think it's the Ordinary foundation, or I'm doing a makeup tutorial using that foundation. My neck is covered in acne, like full on covered. This is basically what my skin was like for the last 2 years. My skin has pretty much been covered. My neck, my chest, back, my face, my arms I didn't have any acne after the last couple of years, but it was pretty much covered. So I managed to actually get my body acne all fine. It all cleared up pretty much anyway. So I managed to get that done. About a year ago, I found a new product and it tended to really work. So what I will probably do is do another video on body acne, the best products for it, because to be honest, for things to not work for me and then this one product to work for me, it's amazing. So I will share that with you in another video, but this one is all about my face acne. And like I said, I tried out quite a few different products. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, and in the end my skin was just covered in acne. Every now and again I'd get a clear day or a clear week and my skin would look so good, and then after about a week my skin would just be covered in blemishes. And I do have before photos so you can see what my skin looked like before I took this medication. So basically I got to the point last year, no, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, because it took that long for them to refer me to a dermatologist. So 2021 came around, I think it was about summertime, and I phoned my doctor. I said, I'm getting really bad acne, I'm nearly 30 now, and I just need to get it under control. It is so bad, it's covering my neck, covering my face, and because of COVID still being a thing, you can't really get a face-to-face appointment with a doctor unless it's specific. So I spoke to the doctor on the phone. I said, you know, it's making me feel really self-conscious, and they said send us some photos. So I took photos of my face, sent them to the doctor, and they recommended that I go on antibiotics. And I said to them, I took these antibiotics when I was a teenager and they didn't do anything, and he said, you need to try them out. Spoke to another doctor and they said, would you like to go on the pill? And I said no. I showed her a picture of my skin, sent it over to her, and straight away she said, what we're going to do is we're going to refer you to a dermatologist, because this has been going on for so long now. Half my life it's been going on for. So she said, we're going to refer you to a dermatologist again, which is basically what I wanted in the first time that I spoke to the first doctor. Even if it's a waste of money or a waste of time, they have to go through specific procedures. And personally, I felt like it was, but I know that it's something that they have to do anyway. So she referred me to a dermatologist, so I went to see her, and she was really good. She looked at my skin and I said to her, I've had it for half of my life, and she was amazing. And she said, you know what, we need to put you on ROACCUTANE. This is the worst case scenario for people that have acne after you've tried everything. This is what you go for. And because nothing's worked for 15 years, she said, we're going to go on it. So I do have to do blood tests every single month. I have to go back to the doctor and the dermatologist every single month to get a new prescription. They will only prescribe you 30 days worth of this medication because of how severe it is. There's loads of side effects. You also can't get pregnant on it as well because it can have deformities. You can do miscarriage as well. So a very severe acne medication that I'm taking, and I have to have the blood test. Then they can see my liver function because it can irritate your liver. It can do quite a lot of things. You can't drink any alcohol in this medication as well, and to be honest, for me that's fine because I don't drink alcohol anyway. I'll go out, have a mocktail, or I have a lemonade. I literally probably drink about twice every year. I have a good time without drinking any alcohol anyway, so it's not really an issue for me. So like I mentioned, I'm now on ROACCUTANE, or the name that it is actually called, and I've seen horror stories of this. I've seen positive stories of this. It's one of those where everybody has a completely different experience on it. It can be amazing, you could have no side effects. It could be the worst thing and you have loads of side effects and you come off of it. I know that some people apparently have finished their course and they haven't had acne anymore. Other people, a very, very small percentage, after they finish the treatment, they will need to go back on ROACCUTANE once or twice afterwards. So it does work very differently for everyone. Now I know that some people might turn around and say, it could be your hormones. I've had that tested, it's not my hormones. Literally, this is the last thing that I can really try that can help with my acne. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll get rid of my acne. And I'm not just talking about 1 or 2 spots. I honestly do not care if I have the odd spot on my face. But when it's covering your body, your face and your neck, and you're an adult, you don't feel like an adult. I personally didn't feel like an adult. I felt like a teenager that had teenage skin. And yes, I am so much better now that I've started this medication. I'm actually on, I think it's the 2nd month of taking this medication, so I'm a little bit delayed with doing these updates, but I am doing an update every single month so you can see what it's like. So like I mentioned in this video, it was all about my acne journey, what I've had beforehand, and also showing you what my skin looks like before I take the medication, so you can really see the severity of it and why she decided to put me on this new medication. So that's something that I like. I like watching videos on people's experiences month by month to see how it's going, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So each video in this series is going to be updates during the month, letting you know about any side effects that I'm having, if anything's changed since my last update as well, and let you know what my skin looks like at the end of each month. So I give you a couple of different updates on each of the videos just so you can see what it's like, because sometimes you could have a massive difference between a couple of days, or you could have a very minuscule difference between a couple of weeks. So it all just depends. That's why I'm doing several different updates, even if it's just to let you know nothing's really changed, I'm still getting these issues. So if you do want to see the playlist, I will link it down below or somewhere in this video for you so you can check it out. But definitely subscribe to my channel if you want to see more updates. I'll be doing them monthly, and hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of it I'll be acne free. But you know, even if my acne clears up just a little bit compared to what it was like before, I will be so happy. Just any improvement for me, I'll be so happy, because I know that I am very, very confident. I'm very confident in my skin, but sometimes if I didn't wear makeup and I went out, I'd feel quite shy and self-conscious because I didn't want people to think I'm a teenager. I know that I look younger than I actually am, but going outside, people looking at all of that acne all over your face, sometimes it can make you feel a little bit self-conscious. Sometimes I feel like people are literally just looking at my skin and being like, why is she not wearing any makeup? So I'm self-conscious, but then I'm also quite confident. I'm sort of in the middle. I've had my fair share of upset days, especially when I was a teenager and I was getting all of this acne. I was so self-conscious. I hated it. I didn't want to show my face. I was one of those people that I actually had my hair over my face, had a fringe, and I would have my head down the entire time because I hated showing off my face. I've tried my fair share of products, so if you want to know acne products that didn't work out for me, then just let me know and I'll do a video for you, because there's a lot that didn't work out for me. I'm probably the queen of acne products. So anyway, like I mentioned, this is my first update of the first month for me trying this new medication, and I've just got to tell you, there are a lot of side effects that happen in this month. I haven't got off lightly with this medication. Now, before you take the medication, you have to read through specific things about it that the dermatologist or doctor is going to give you. You have to carefully read through everything, and then you have to work out if you actually want to go on it, because I gotta say, I was quite scared. I took my first pill of this medication and I was having an anxiety attack because I thought I couldn't breathe, because I'd read all of the side effects that you can have. There are common side effects, there are severe side effects, there are less common side effects. Honestly, it is an entire page of side effects, so it can scare you, but they have to do it because there's so many things that you can experience. And in this first month, I experienced a lot of stuff going on, a lot of side effects I had. And yes, it wasn't an easy ride for me, but for me, I feel like the side effects I've had so far, it's fine. It outweighs how my skin looked before. I'm pretty much determined to just carry on with the medication, finish my entire dose. I do have a 6-month dose of this medication, and I am taking 40 mg a day, which is 2 tablets. So it's a very long one. It's quite a lot of medication, but hopefully, fingers crossed, my skin will look great after this. So anyway, if you want to see the first month update, then just keep watching. So today is the first day that I'm taking my new acne medication, and I do want to apologise for the way that my hair looks, the way that I'm dressed, and my skin. I don't have anything on my skin at the moment, literally just skincare and my sun cream, and that is it. And this is what my skin looks like naturally, and I did want to come on here and show you what my skin looks like, and this is what it looks like. So I will also take some videos or some photos in natural lighting so you can see what it looks like, but I really wanted to come on here with the studio lights because it's one of those where it doesn't forgive anything on your face. I never have any filters on any of my videos. Whenever I try out foundations, whenever I do makeup tutorials, I show what my skin texture, what my skin looks like naturally. You can see I have a lot of redness, a lot of acne, blemishes, and really large pores, and this is what it's looking like at the moment. So the way that my skin is looking at the moment is probably the best that it's looked in the last few months. It is pretty painful a lot of the time, especially when I get blemishes around here on my forehead as well, the odd one that I get around here, and then also you can see I have a massive one on my nose right at the moment. So you can see it's very, very red. I have a lot of redness, I have a lot of blemishes on my skin, I have whiteheads, I have red, vibrant spots on my skin. It just looks like a rash. That's how it looks. As you can see, I do have a lot of redness, I have a lot of blemishes, I have sensitive skin, I always have very, very oily skin as well. So while I'm taking this medication, my skin is actually going to be the complete opposite end of the spectrum. The doctor did tell me that my skin is going to get extremely dry, and she said that it's best for me to get skincare that is specifically for very, very dry skin or things for eczema, and I do get eczema on my hands, so I'm quite used to getting creams for eczema anyway. And it's so different for me because I'm one of those people with having such oily skin. I have oil control products, I have things that are moisturising but also don't make me go oily, I have matte foundations, I have my moisturiser that makes my skin matte, I have cleanser and toner specifically for oily acne prone skin, and I have to buy brand new things that are specifically for very dry skin. So my skin is going to apparently get very, very dry, and it's probably going to end up flaking. I'm apparently going to get very, very dry eyes, very dry lips as well, very dry nose. And I've heard that it's very painful for those. So the dermatologist said that everyone that goes on this medication does get very, very dry skin. Some get dry eyes. There's also some other symptoms that you can get as well, like aches and pains. And I know that they're not as common as the dryness, but there are quite a few other things that you can get on it as well. With your mental health, you do have to make sure that you are keeping a diary of that, because this can also affect your mental health as well. So that's all about my skin, what it's looking like at the moment. So we're at day 5 of me taking the medication, and you can probably already tell from my voice that it sounds completely different to when I first did my update to show what my skin looked like before taking the medication, and that's because I've had a cold while I've been on this for the last 5 days, and I don't know if it's a side effect of the medication, even though it says it's a very common side effect. I don't know if it's because of the medication or because I went out and stayed away for my anniversary last week in London, went to Winter Wonderland. It was very, very cold, but I did wrap up warm, so I don't know if it's me getting a cold from that or having cold symptoms from the medication. So I noticed that by the second day I was developing severe headaches, like literally right here, and then also here. It was like my sinuses were really bad, and I noticed that on the second day, and I actually had to finish work early on that day because I was not very good at all. I was feeling incredibly ill, my head was killing me, and I needed a rest. I couldn't complete the work day. And you can take painkillers with this medication. I did double check with the pharmacy, and they said that you can take ibuprofen and paracetamol. By the third day I had a full-blown cold, and my nose was snotting. It was horrible. I was sneezing. Yesterday was horrible as well, but I have noticed that today and a bit of yesterday I didn't have any more headaches. So I do feel like there is one of those where you just have to ride it out. I have also noticed that I have been getting very dry eyes as well. I noticed that by, I think, middle of the second day my eyes were very dry, but I didn't know if that was because I had the cold symptoms. And for the last few days I have been taking eye drops, and they're just the dry and irritated eye drops, and they work amazingly, and I felt so much better since taking them. I've also noticed that my nose has started to get very dry as well, so all around my nostrils I've been getting very, very dry and very red. Again, I don't know if that's because it's the cold symptoms that I had or if it's because of the medication. I also noticed by the second day that my lips were starting to get dry as well, and it's mainly around my top lips. So I have been smothering on Vaseline on my lips, also on my nostrils as well. It's been working really well. And then on my lips I've also been using a lip oil, and my lips are feeling much better than they did when I first started to get dry. Now, I haven't noticed my skin get incredibly dry at the moment. Now, I don't know if that's just because I'm not getting that side effect, or I don't know if it's because I have completely changed all of my skincare. So my skin at the moment, it seems to be more combination, but I have been using a hydrating foundation yesterday and a hydrating primer when I put on any makeup. I haven't really worn makeup at all other than yesterday because I want to see how my skin is. But I have started getting breakouts quite a lot on my skin. Today it's not as bad as it has been for the last 2 days. 2 days ago I had a spot on my face right here. You can probably see I have like a massive red patch. I had a spot there that literally looked like a second head. It looked like in Family Guy, you know, when Chris has that spot and it's telling him to kill people. That is literally what it looked like. It was absolutely massive. I even went to my mum's house and she saw my skin and she was like, wow. Even she said wow to that massive spot. And I've got another one. on this side of my face, but it's not as big as the one that was on this side the other day. So I will do a zoom in, but please bear in mind, if you are squeamish about any blemishes or any spots, and especially any ones that have the white heads on the top, then you're probably going to want to skip this part of me zooming in because it's not very good. So my skin still does look very red, it still looks very irritated, especially on my chin. I have a lot of blemishes, a lot of spots, and then right here you can see that's where the massive spot was. And then here, pretty much exactly the same spot on the other side of my face, I have a massive spot here. So it seems to be, it's okay. It just seems like that my skin is just breaking out like crazy, but these ones on my cheeks are incredibly painful. But everything else seems to be okay. I do have a couple around here that are quite painful if I run my fingers through it. And then literally if I go like this with my hand or even my finger, I can feel spots everywhere. It's happening underneath my face as well, so underneath my chin I'm getting a lot of spots as well. But yeah, pretty much wherever I put my hands I can feel spots all over my face, but it's nothing new to me because, like I said, I've had acne for half my life anyway, so I'm used to having times when my skin is flared up and it's gone crazy. Not much of an improvement, but it's only been 5 days while I've been on this medication. I'm going to be on it for 6 months anyway, so I'm expecting to see more of an improvement after about a month anyway. Today's the last day of the first month of me using this medication, so we're at day 30 today, and to be honest, today I feel pretty under the weather, but I knew I needed to film this video so I could give you an update and let you know how my skin's doing, all of the side effects that I've had since I did my last update. Now I haven't done many updates on this just because there hasn't really been many changes. I've had, you know, quite a few side effects. I had quite a few at the beginning, but I still have some side effects that are just remaining at the moment and I can't get rid of them. You might be able to hear from my voice that I'm feeling under the weather. I might be getting the cold that every single person in the UK is getting at the moment. They're either getting a cold or they're getting the flu, and I feel like it's going to be my time. So Christmas has finished, but I might be ill for New Year, so we'll see what goes on with that. But this is what my skin is looking like. As you can see, it is pretty red at the moment, but like I said, it is because I'm feeling under the weather. I am feeling quite flushed. My skin did look a little bit different this morning when I wasn't feeling as ill and when I wasn't feeling as hot either. So I have taken some photos in natural lighting so you can see what my skin actually looked like earlier on. I don't have anything on my skin other than just my skincare. I don't have any makeup. I don't have anything at all, as you can see, because you can see my dark circles under my eyes. So this is what my skin looks like bare. I do have very sensitive skin naturally. I do have very fair skin naturally as well, as you can see from how pale it actually is. Also, do not mind the self-tan coming off on my neck. I do need to redo it, but I just can't be bothered because no one's seeing me because I haven't been out of the house today. So anyway, this is what my skin's looking like, and in all honesty, my skin hasn't looked this good in such a long time. My skin has not been clear like this since I think I was probably a teenager or a couple of summers ago, and for some weird reason a couple of summers ago my skin just decided to clear up and then it all came back with a vengeance. So it just happens. But my skin feels really good, so I can literally rub my fingers over my skin all over my face and there's no bumps anywhere, which is completely unheard of. I haven't had this since I was a teenager before my acne. I've always felt bumps on my skin. It's always felt quite irritated, or it's felt like lumpy, like there are spots coming up, but literally I can't feel anything that's coming up on my skin. And it's been like this for probably about the last week and a half. My skin has been this clear and it's just so nice. You can see obviously that I am getting a little bit of a rash here, but that is because I am flushed. My skin didn't look like this morning. Like I said, I've taken photos so you can see exactly what it looked like after I did all my skincare and everything like that. But I'm so impressed with the way that my skin looks. It also feels nice that the texture of my skin is looking a lot better. I do obviously still have very large pores. I just naturally have very large pores anyway, but just the fact that I can go outside, I can have glowy skin, I can have not much coverage at all, and my skin will look beautiful, and I won't have all of these bumps everywhere, and I won't have uneven skin texture. It feels so good. So with side effects, I am still getting the dry skin. My skin does look quite oily or shiny at the moment, but that's because every single day before I put my makeup on, or even if I'm not putting on any makeup, I'll put on the KAB Cosmetics Beauty Oil. Now, one side effect that I still have is that I'm getting pretty dry skin. So every now and again, I'll have to use a facial exfoliator. I'll use a very gentle one because, like I said, I have very sensitive skin. But I'll go in there probably about 2 or 3 times a week and I'll use a light exfoliator on my face. and that just gets off all the dead skin, because I've noticed that if I put on foundation and my skin is looking dry, it will look cakey. It will literally look cakey around here, also on my chin and between my eyes and my eyebrows. It will look so cakey. I don't know why, it just really does. I think it's just because my skin is getting so dry that it's just all building up. Like I said before, I haven't had dry skin since I was a teenager, so it's so different for me to have to change all of my skincare, all of my makeup. I can't wear matte foundations anymore because it looks disgusting on my skin. It looks so horrible, and I still do have some side effects that are happening at the moment, as well as the dry skin. So I have very dry eyes. I have to use eye drops several times a day. Sometimes my eyes are okay and I only have to use them twice a day, but then other times, like today and yesterday, I've had to use them about 4 or 5 times a day because they're just so dry. So I don't get expensive ones. I just get the ones from Boots that are like £3 or £4, but the ones that I get are for dry, irritated eyes. I've also got incredibly dry lips. My lips are the driest they have ever been. If you get dry lips when it's winter, or if you haven't been putting a lot of moisture on your lips, or when it's summer and you haven't been putting SPF on the lips, then you'll know exactly how it feels. These are worse. About a week ago, my lips were so dry that it felt like there was a film on them. So I was just going like this and then they started flaking. And this is so disgusting. So if you do get squeamish, please do not watch or listen to this bit, but it was so bad that I literally had to rip the top layer of skin off of my lips. So I had to actually pick it and just take it off. It was like a snake shedding its skin, and my lips felt so relieved afterwards. I did get a couple of red patches, so you might have seen them on some videos. So I did get, I think, like a red patch around here and then also on my top lip, but that went quite easily. But my lips are so dry. I have to use KAB Cosmetics Lip Oil. That's what I use, and it is honestly a godsend. It's the best thing that I've used for my lips, so I have to keep applying that during the day. I have several of them. I have one by my bed, I have one in my bag that I always use, and I do every now and again get a little bit of a dry throat, but it's probably my fault because I just need to drink more water, and I'm one of those people that just doesn't drink a lot. So I think that that's the things that I'm doing for myself. There is another side effect that I got on day 15, and that was a nosebleed. I have not had a nosebleed for years and years, and then all of a sudden I get a nosebleed. We're on the way to McDonald's in the car, and I think that my nose is dripping because it's winter and it's very cold, and lo and behold, it's a nosebleed. And like I said, I haven't had one of those in years, so I got that on day 15, and then a couple of days later I started to get a little nosebleed. So it wasn't like it was a full-on nosebleed like that one, it was just like a little one. So I have had 2 at the moment, and it's just so strange, but that is one of the side effects that you can get. It's a very common side effect, and you know, it's okay. Of all the side effects that you can get that's on there, I don't mind getting the odd nosebleed. It's okay for me. And other than that, I don't really have any other side effects since I did my last update. Obviously, I let you know the types of side effects I had with my cold symptoms. My acne got worse, had the snotty nose, a lot of redness, massive headache, dry throat, everything like that I had in the first few days when I did my updates. But now those ones seem to have gone. But like I said, I think I am getting a cold that's going around the UK, so we will see how that happens and how that goes in the next few days, and hopefully I'll start to feel better. So this is what my skin is looking like after 30 days and the first month of taking ROACCUTANE.